Welcome to this explainer. Look, every single year, hundreds of thousands of students across Pakistan, literally from Karachi all the way to Gilgit-Baltistan, graduate with degrees in hand, totally full of ambition. But let's just be brutally honest for a second, okay? You step out of university and into a job market that often feels incredibly crowded, confusing, and, frankly, sometimes deeply unfair. So today, we aren't just going to sit here and give you generic advice. We are actually mapping out a strategic, step-by-step timeline for fresh graduates to cut through all that noise and successfully navigate this landscape. It's no secret that youth unemployment in Pakistan is at a pretty concerning level right now. And yeah, there's this well-documented mismatch between what we learn in academia and what the industry actually needs from us. But here's the thing. Graduates who are highly strategic and proactive absolutely do find meaningful work. As this quote perfectly nails it, the difference is rarely just talent, it's preparation and mindset. Your proactive strategy, that is going to be your ultimate advantage. All right, let's dive straight into the structured timeline. We're going to take you from graduation day right to landing that job by walking through 6 key stages. First, assessing your reality. Second, gathering your tools of the trade. Third, upskilling. Fourth, conquering those interviews. Fifth, scoping out market opportunities. And finally, locking in that job hunter's mindset. Starting with step 1, the reality and assessment. Before you fire off even a single application, this very first phase demands an honest pause. Seriously, you have to know exactly where you stand before you can figure out where you're going. Grab a pen and write down what you can genuinely do, rather than just relying on the fact that you have a degree. Because while your degree gets you in the room, employers are looking to pay for concrete skills. Ask yourself, can I actually write a clear report? Can I code in Python? Am I good at analyzing financial statements? Next, pinpoint the industries that actually interest you. Is it Pakistan's massive textile sector, telecom, media, or maybe the booming startup ecosystem? And finally, be real about your constraints. Are you actually able to relocate? Do you have family responsibilities that limit your hours? Nailing this down right now will literally save you months of wasting energy on the wrong jobs. Moving right along to step 2, tools of the trade. Once you know what you're aiming for, you need the right instruments to break into the market, starting with your CV. For entry-level roles, keep it to one clean page. And please, whatever you do, don't be the candidate who writes a super generic team player, did an internship at a bank. Hiring managers see thousands of those. Instead, you need what we call an impact CV. You want to lead with specific, measurable results. Say something like, assisted in processing 50-plus customer loan applications daily during an internship at Hubby Bank Limited. See the difference? Specificity signals competence. And remember, you should be tweaking the CV for every single application. Next up, where are you actually sending this CV? Pakistan has a very active digital job market. Rosie PK is the biggest local board, while LinkedIn is absolutely essential if you want to get into the corporate or multinational sectors. Mustaqbil.com is awesome for mid-sized local companies. And hey, if you're targeting the tech space, startupjobs.io and TechJobs PK are fantastic resources. But here is a huge pro tip for you. While making profiles on these sites is a must, your personal network, meaning your professors, alumni, your family's connections, that network is often going to open doors that no job board ever will, simply because so many roles are still filled through word of mouth. Okay, step 3, experience and upskilling. This is a critical phase where you bridge the gap between textbook theory and what the market is actually screaming for. Listen, if you graduated without any internship experience, getting some is your absolute most urgent task right now. Pakistani employers essentially treat work experience as a mandatory filter at the entry level, so securing an internship, even if it's unpaid or just for a few weeks, is non-negotiable. You need those references, and you need to understand office life. If you aren't seeing listings online, look into government initiatives like NAVTIC or the Prime Minister's Youth Program. If you're a finance student, leverage bodies like ICAP and ACCA. And honestly, don't underestimate the sheer hustle of direct outreach. Just cold emailing the HR department of a smaller, local company with a really strong CV can yield incredible results. You also have to realize that Pakistan's job market is shifting super fast. And you have to build skills that employers are actively willing to pay for. In IT, stuff like cloud computing with AWS and AI are just huge right now. Over in business, financial modeling and SAP are super in demand. And in communication, while solid English is a standard baseline, Urdu content creation is actually booming. The great news? You can use platforms like the government-backed DigiSkills PK, or honestly, even just free tutorials on YouTube to affordably build these specific, high-demand competencies. And hey, while you're busy upskilling and searching, keep in mind that Pakistan is actually one of the top countries in the world for freelance income. Getting active on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr while you job hunt is brilliant. It demonstrates serious hustle to future employers, it puts some much-needed cash in your pocket, and it builds out your portfolio. Freelancing is absolutely not just a fallback or some temporary hobby. It's a legitimate career choice that shows a ton of self-direction. All right, step 4, conquering interviews. When your CV and all that upskilling finally pay off and you land the interview, you have to master the structured formats that local banks and multinationals love to use. They rely heavily on competency-based questions, technical tests, or assessment centers. First rule, prepare real, concrete examples from your university days or community work to answer those classic questions like, tell me about a time you handled conflict. Second, and you would be shocked at how many people fail to do this, research the company, know their core business, read the recent news. Honestly, simply by not showing up completely clueless, you immediately outshine half your competition. Then, just cover the basics, dress professionally, arrive or log in exactly on time, and always send a quick follow-up thank you email. Step 5 on our timeline, market opportunities. Let's talk about where you should actually be aiming all these refined skills. You have some incredibly diverse ecosystems to target that go way beyond just a standard, boring desk job. Management Trainee Officer, or MTO programs, at giants like HBL or Unilever are fiercely competitive, but man, they offer amazing fast-tracked management rotations. If public service is more your vibe, the prestige of the CSS exams or provincial public service commissions is totally unparalleled. Then there's this massive NGO and UN agency landscape, constantly looking for social sciences and public health grads. Or if you want a really steep, fast-paced learning curve, you've got to look at the rapidly growing startup scenes in Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad. And finally, step 6, the job hunter's mindset. We really have to address the reality of this journey. It's tough. The social and financial pressures are immense. Job searching in Pakistan is a marathon, not a sprint. It can easily stretch for months. You have to build routines and treat the search itself like it's your full-time job. In month 1, you might just be assessing your skills and taking online courses. By month 3, you're out there fighting for that internship, and it might literally be month 6 before you start seeing sustained interviews. You have to pace yourself. A huge part of pacing yourself is managing your financial expectations. You're probably hearing rumors about entry-level salaries hitting 100,000 rupees or more at multinationals or heavily funded startups, but the reality on the ground is an incredibly wide variance. You might see offers as low as 25,000 rupees at smaller local firms. So it's absolutely vital to stay grounded, know what you actually need to survive, evaluate the offers that are genuinely on the table, and always negotiate respectfully. Most importantly, through all of this, protect your mental health. Rejection is completely normal. It happens to literally everyone. Stay active, lean on your friends who are going through the exact same grind, and do not let cultural or family pressure convince you that an early rejection means you are a permanent failure. Remember, your first job does not define your entire career. Some of the most wildly successful professionals in Pakistan started out in roles that had absolutely nothing to do with where they ended up. Just take what you can get, learn everything you can from it, and keep pushing forward.
Yes, the job market has real challenges right now, but it is definitely not closed to those who prepare strategically, network genuinely, and treat every single rejection as a learning experience. So we'll leave you with this thought. Your degree opened a door. What strategic step are you going to take today to actually walk through it?